Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing detail. Today, we're discussing a model launched in 2010, originally designed for the CPCP collection. This Cartier Rotonde was ultimately launched as part of the Cartier Fine Watchmaking Collection. The 2010 SIHH bring us two versions of this watch in white gold and the rose gold that you see right here. It is a spectacular timepiece, 42 millimeters in diameter. It's 11.8 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 47.6 millimeters, surprisingly short, with a broad 23 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Because it is only 47.6 millimeters from lug to lug, it wears surprisingly well on a small wrist. I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters in circumference. My wrist, for scale, is 16 centimeters in circumference. Being flat with a domed bezel, it will absolutely slide underneath a dress cuff, and I really do think you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. The strap is high-grade, large rectangular scale alligator leather with really large symmetrical scales, so you can tell this was an expensive cut. Semi-gloss finish. It has a folded edge, a monotone stitch. It's calfskin on the bottom. It is a brand new Cartier factory strap. We have a folding clasp based on the design of the very first Louis Cartier folding clasp that he created in 1909. That was the world's first ever deployant clasp for a wristwatch, and this one is closely modeled on that. There is a crimping system, so what you do is you tuck the strap in, you buckle it in, and then you close it, and then the excess length hides underneath the clasp and the straps. There's no need for minder loops, so it's a very clean look when closed. The case is, well, as the name implies, rotund. It is all of high polish. You can see it's got a little bit of a sloped flank and a domed bezel. We have a strap held on using screws and bars, a nice upscale system that's more secure than a spring bar. More expensive too, but this watch is worth it. A really dramatic break between case flank and lug profile, leading me to wonder whether these are actually welded lugs, a super high-end method of case fabrication, and they really do look the part as the break between case and lug is super sharp. Flipping it all the way around, you can see we have a beaded crown with a sapphire cabochon, and that leads us to the dial. Now outboard there's a nickel anthracite coating for the minute track, and you can see that we have a jump hour up at 12 o'clock. The minute disc as well as the hour disc, both nickel anthracite coated aluminum to reduce the draw on the mainspring barrels. You can see we have a skeletonized metallic framework that sits over the rosette guilloche center dial with a Cartier nameplate. So several different focal planes, textures, tones, and materials. This is a little index that indicates the minutes, and then there's your jumping hour. Take note, when you get to Roman numeral 12, the Cartier secret signature is hidden inside of the 12. I'll demonstrate the jump hour functionality, which is a wonderfully fun little piece of horological theater. And I should say that was Roman numeral 7 before with the Cartier secret signature. So we saw the secret signature in Roman numeral 7. And then we also have a watchmaker's 4. So oftentimes this is used on the dial of a watch when you have radially arrayed Roman numerals. Here we have a watchmaker's 4, which is not a true Roman numeral 4, a used 4 numeral 4 on the jumping disc. And then, of course, we have the case back, which is a highlight. This is the 9905MC, made at Cartier's La Chaux de Fonds manufacture. Twin mainspring barrels, manual wind, 65-hour power reserve, 4 hertz beat rate, and of course the jump hour complication. It pivots on 22 jewels, and it is a judicious blend of hand finishing and manual finishing, with a lot more of the manual finishing than you'll find on a standard Cartier movement. You can see we have Edicron for fine adjustment of timing rate as well as beat error, and then an eccentric screw micro regulator with a blued Cartier C as part of the adjustment mechanism. We have the Cartier CPCP collection monogram across all the bridges, as this movement was originally designed with the CPCP collection in mind. That ended before the watch bowed, but it features the old style bridges, a wonderful nostalgic touch for hardcore Cartier collectors who regard CPCP very, very highly. You can see that there's also a high grade of beveling. The bevels are a combination of initial beveling by mechanical means and then finishing by manual means, they are much brighter and more rounded than you'll find for example, a standard Cartier Santos or Calibre de Cartier. This is a largely hand-finished movement. You can see we have satination on the wheels, engine turning on the base plate, black polished screw heads. We have solarization on both of the mainspring barrels, and a lovely stylized click over one of the mainspring barrels right there. All this water resistant down to 30 meters. A truly special movement, a truly special watch. And again, you can have a tremendous amount of fun with that jumping Roman numerals, and remind your friend that when you get to Roman numeral 7, that is the secret signature. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.